Maturing is realizing toxic femininity is a thing. Hey, what's up, you guys? Welcome back to my YouTube channel. If you're new here, hi, my name is Leia. It is very nice to meet you. Today's topic is toxic femininity because I feel like I don't see too much people talking about this. I see a lot of people talking about divine femininity and how to really get into your true feminine, or whatever that even means. But nobody really talks about the toxic femininity that we have within our culture of women. This has nothing to do with race. This has nothing to do with where you come from or anything like that. This is literally just something that I see a lot in women, like in women in general. And I think it's in women in general because this stuff, toxic femininity, which I don't know if there's really like a true definition of toxic femininity. Well, shit. So it says, toxic femininity is an internalized misogyny that encourages women to ignore their mental or physical needs to sustain those around them. In other words, toxic femininity is what many people think of as a stereotypical femininity and is a product of patriarchal gender norms. And that's what I wanted to get into, the product of patriarchal gender norms, which is why I feel like it's a women in general and not just a race thing, because I don't even know like when it started. I can't really pinpoint when it started, but I feel like from the day that I could remember, like we were already pit against each other. Like women were already put in competition with each other once we started. And I think it's because, well, for one, I definitely remember like in younger days when people would be like, say a girl said something about you or whatever, rather than you choosing peace and just being like, okay, well, she can talk whatever she wants, I don't really care. You have to stand up for yourself and not let nobody disrespect you. And you going for that, you know, type stuff. And I know I still instigate and say that, but it's something toxic I need to get out of. But yeah, all that stuff just pits women against each other and putting them in competition of who wore it best, who has the best body, who has the best hair, who has the best features, who gets the most men. Like, all of that should not really matter at all. It puts a really bad image on women, and especially younger women too, because with older women acting like this and putting competitions with each other and gossiping and talking about their friends to their friends and stuff like that, like this is normalizing what younger women feel like that's what you're supposed to do as a woman. Like, you're supposed to gossip, you're supposed to compete with other women, you're supposed to hate the pretty women, you're supposed to, you know. And that's another thing too that I don't really understand, is hating on somebody when they're pretty. Like, that's definitely that's definitely a point of insecurity if you are hating on somebody just because they're pretty, or envious of somebody, jealous of somebody just because they're pretty. Because I don't want to say looks get you nowhere, but at the end of the day, looks aren't everything. And if you could find in yourself to become confident in what you have and like what you portray, like you might not have, I'm sorry, but some people, not everybody is beautiful, not everybody is pretty. I think everybody is beautiful in their own way, but not everybody is pretty, or like to the standard of, because me personally, I can say that because I think pretty is a opinion. Like, there are certain people who have opinions on what's pretty and what's not, and there are other people who think that somebody else is not pretty is pretty and somebody else is pretty is not pretty. So me personally, I feel like everybody's not pretty. I don't really care who has anything to say about that because it's just what I think. But I don't think that everybody has to be pretty. Like, I think God put us all here on earth in different skins, in different skin tones, in different faces, in different structures, and different build types, because you're supposed to focus on what's beautiful within you. Like, especially as women, like, you're supposed to look at your traits and be comfortable in what you provide in the world, and a man should be able to see that. Toxic femininity does also include women who judge other women for doing quote-unquote masculine things, such as women judging other women for drinking beer, women judging other women for not like wearing heels or sandals as often, or like not going to get their toes done. I remember I seen this thing that somebody had posted on Twitter saying that she was like, I can't smoke with girls who smoke woods because that's a manly thing to do. Like, I guess like papers is dainty, like anything that's dainty, light, airy, pink, whatever, considered feminine or whatever. If a woman's not falling in that category, she's not a woman or whatever. Like, that's that toxic femininity that I'm talking about. Like, let people live how they want to live. Like, not everybody, like, not every woman is going to be able to be the princess in their household. Like, some women love to go out and work. Like, some women love to get it their own way. You know what I'm saying? Like, some women don't want to sit and depend on a man to give them their money and stuff like that. Some women like to get their hands dirty. Some women, like me personally, I like to work with my hands. I mean, right now I'm kind of tired of it, but I mean, maybe back, you know, I might come back and want to work with my hands. I think I'm more of like a woman empowerment kind of sort of thing because I grew up in a household where my mom was the one going to work and making the money. Like my dad, yes, I don't really know how he made his money, to be honest, because he never really disclosed that. He did tell me some stuff, but like I was too young to really understand, and now I don't really remember. But my mom was the one who was going out, waking up, you know, 5 a.m. every morning, going to work 5 days a week. Not saying that my dad was like a deadbeat or something like that. I wasn't doing nothing. Like, I'm definitely not saying that. My dad was definitely still providing. He was definitely a father, still here doing his fatherly roles. But I'm just saying, like, everybody's life or like everybody's normal is different. And we just cannot judge anybody for not doing what we think is more feminine than others. Like, I guess that's just where I just don't get it. I would definitely fall into the gossip because, like, it's just something that I felt was supposed to be what it was supposed to be. Like, especially when friends talked about, or my friends coming to me talking to me about somebody else that we're not even really cool with. So I felt like it was okay. But even still, like, gossiping about other people that you're not cool with is like, what do you gain from that, you know? And then I was watching this podcast of this girl who was saying how, like, she was gossiping with her friend who she knew was messy, and she was telling her friend business about somebody else, and then that friend ran into that somebody else in real life and called the friend or called the girl on the podcast and was like, hey, didn't you say such, 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 such? And they all agreed that that was fake. And I feel like it's kind of confusing because it's like, well, for one thing, for me personally, like, I'm not going to say anything that I don't want anybody else to know, because you literally never know who you're talking to. You literally never know what situations they're going to be in, if they're going to pull some shit like that. Like, oh, didn't you say this and that? I feel like I said, like, whatever you say needs to be thought about. Like, okay, if this comes to somebody else's face, like, am I going to stand 10 toes down in it or not? And that can keep you from saying a lot of stuff, like a lot of stuff that you might regret or anything like that. Like, just having that simple thought of, if she hears it, or if I'm face to face with this person, would I say it to their face? You know, like, would I mind if they heard it or anything like that? Anyway, she said that the girl was really fake and stuff like that and was really messy and stuff. But, I mean, she might have had bad intentions, like, just to, I don't know, get you in a fight or something like that. But at the same time, like, bitch, just go 10 toes down on what you said. Like, yeah, I did say that, and what about it? Like, you know, but I don't know. We all got different views and stuff like that. But back to toxic femininity. I don't really know if there's like a way to stop it or something like that, but I feel like we need to acknowledge the fact that that's a real thing. Like, we need to acknowledge the fact that women do not have to be in competition with each other. Like, that's just the main point. Like, I don't think women need to be in competition with each other. Anything, we need to be helping and uplifting each other. Women just need to love, like, we all just need to love each other and just stop looking at each other as, oh, she's this, so I have to do that, or, you know, we can't let her do this because she's going to do that, or something like that. Like, stop being hateful towards women. Like, we're all in the same boat. We all got coochies. Men all look at us the same, as an object that they can have their way with. Like, the least thing that we need to do is to let a man split us up, or to let men split us up just because of their own thoughts and their own opinions of what a pretty woman is, or what a better woman is, or whatever. Like, just pitting women against each other is just so stupid to me. And especially in the socials, like, y'all love to do that too with celebrities and things like that, pitting women against each other, Nicki versus Cardi B and just all this other stuff. Like, can women just breathe? Can we just exist and live as people without having to worry about being better than the next bitch? Like, it's draining, honestly. Share your guys' opinions, comments down below. Let me know what you guys think. If you agree, disagree, please let me know. Thank you guys so much for watching, and I'll see y'all in the next one. Bye, guys.